gold in my mouth. So when I speak, all that shine off in my teeth, light up mouths. That's a person, place, or things where I'm diverse in ways I bring. Bells of manner with country grammar, sweet as a tangerine. I follow a Nazarene, but I still might paint the Hyundai candy. Cause I'm modest, but be honest, I got more sauce than shrimp scampi. I go ape, I go chimpanzee on every beat that they hand me. I've been branded as the man who gon' handle my hood advancement out the slum. Ain't dumb, I know you got to be peeping, but my head down and my arms cover my paper. It ain't no cheating, I'm eating. Plus I got we just wanna party. We just wanna party. Just me. Just me. This is America. Don't catch you slipping now. Don't catch you slipping now. Look what I'm whipping now. This is America. Don't catch you slipping now. Don't catch you slipping now. Look what I'm whipping now. This is America. Don't catch you slipping now. Look how I'm living now. Police be tripping now. Yeah, this is America. Guns in my area. I got the strap. I gotta carry 'em. Yeah, I'ma go into this. Yeah, this is gorilla. Yeah, I'ma go get the bag. Yeah, or I'ma get the pad. Yeah, I'm so cold like yeah. I'm so dull like yeah. We gon' blow like yeah. This is America. Don't catch you slipping now. Don't catch you slipping now. Look what I'm whipping now. This is America. Don't catch you slipping now. Don't catch you slipping now. Look what I'm whipping now. Look how I'm geeking now. I'm so pretty. I'm on Gucci. I'm so pretty. I'm gonna get it. Watch me move. This is Sally. That's a tool. On my Kodak. Black. Ooh, know that. Ooh, get it. Get it. 100 bands. Contraband. I got the plug on who a hawker. Whoa. They gonna find you like Baka. Blow. Ooh, America.
I just checked my following list and you motherfuckers owe me.
Get your money, black man. Get your money, black man. Get your money, black man.
You're listening to CRBRadio.com. The words and opinions you are about to hear are of the hosts and do not reflect the management, sponsors, or affiliates of Cave Radio Broadcasting.
Oh, listen up. They're not conservatives. They're not liberals. They're equal opportunity haters. It's time for Rants in Our Pants with Dawn.
That's my secret, Captain. I'm always angry.
And Krista.
And away we go.
And welcome once again. Just setting the mood a little bit, like lighting a couple of candles here, a little incense, like trying to get the vibe and the chill going here. Yep, are you feeling it? I'm feeling it. Anyway, welcome once again to Rants in Our Pants. I am Dawn. With me as always is Cortez.
Hello, people.
And playing her little word game over to my right is Amanda.
Hi.
Always talkative. We're going to have a special guest today. She's going to be coming in probably at about 2:30.
About the 2:30-ish.
around about 2:30ish. She's running for Detroit City Council. Her name is, if I got it right, Joanna Underwood.
Joanna Underwood.
Joanna Underwood. She's from District 7, running, I think you said second place. Not second place, but she's like in second right now.
Yeah, as far as results of what they have right now, as far as chances go, yeah, she's number 2.
Okay, so let's see if we can get her to number 1. While we're waiting, we weren't on, at least Rants in Our Pants was not on for the last couple of weeks, and the major reason was Amanda and I decided to go to Pennsylvania for the Joe Bob Briggs Jamboree at the Mohanning. Yes, everyone stand and give your accolades. Basically, that was a trip. For starters, it rained, like the day we were set to leave, all right? And the rain basically followed us to Pennsylvania. So our apologies to the Pennsylvania brethren and all those who were in attendance at the Jamboree. It came with us. We didn't want to pack it, but, you know, it just showed up in our suitcase. The other thing that was kind of a trip is the fact that, oh my God, we drove Amanda drove. This was the first time she was at the helm of the bobsled for a road trip. I usually do all the road trip. I usually do all the driving. But my car's been acting kind of wonky, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of afraid of her car. Just a little bit. So she's like, okay, I'll do the driving. How'd it feel being the driver for a road trip after your first one?
I love driving my car, so I didn't mind.
Uh-huh. You enjoyed the rain? The
only
long stretches?
I don't mind the long stretches or the rain or the dark. The only thing I didn't like was that I got sleepy at least a couple of points.
Right. And, you know, we were going to switch, but I wasn't faring much better.
Right.
The fog was kind of, like, interesting, especially once you got into Pennsylvania. The actual event itself, I really enjoyed myself. I mean, we were only there for the day, and we, slept at the drive-in, okay? Now, we were going to bring the tent, but we decided if it's raining, it'd be redundant to set it up. So we decided we're going to sleep in Amanda's car. Now, to set the scene for the Jamboree itself, we met a lot of nice people, a lot of great people. It's my mission next time to actually be a little bit more, social. Because once we only socialized when we were in line and with some of the people who sat near us at the actual drive-in. And mostly it's because we were tired as fuck, we were exhausted, and basically socialization kind of skills went out the fucking window. So, but like I said, we did meet quite a few interesting people. The highlight for me, and this is the thing I was nervous about since we were slating to go, is we got to meet Joe Bob Briggs himself, as well as the male girl, Darcy. And John Brennan, who is the musical director, was also there. Austin Jennings, who is the director of The Last Drive-In over on Shudder. Only really got to meet Joe Bob and Darcy, which was the highlight of my fucking year. The highlight. I'll explain why in a minute. But even though Amanda swears up and down, I did not fuck this up. I still think I did. But, we get on the way there, we stopped at a few places. I got some strange looks because I was wearing my Darcy the Male Girl shirt, and hey, she is a classy lady. Classy. If you don't like the shirt, you have no class. Anyway, but then I realized it was my hat. Understand, we're going through Ohio and Pennsylvania, which has Ohio State University and Penn State University, and I am wearing my University of Michigan hat. So I'm like, oh, well, this is a popular chapeau. We get there, the line was pretty long to get in, naturally. They sold like I think it was sold out for Saturday. I'm pretty sure it was entirely sold out. But it was humid. We got out of the car. I swear to God, Mother Nature bitch slapped us with the humidity. Because by the time all that was set, we had to go back to her car to cool down several times because I'm pouring sweat down my back. I can feel it. It was like, as I told Joe Bob and Darcy later, I feel like mutant soup. Because I was just like, yeah. We wandered around, looked at some of the vendors that was there. The Angry Video Game Nerd was there. The only complaint, and mind you, this is just a minor complaint, because the staff at the Mahoning busted their ass to make sure everything went off well. The staff of the last drive-in bent over backwards for the fans. So when I say it's a minor complaint, it's very minor. This was the first jamboree. I get it. There's going to be hiccups. But it's two minor complaints. One of them speaking from a fat kid. They only had the snack bar at the drive-in and a food truck. There was another food truck, but it was strictly donuts. Now, we didn't really pack actual food. We just packed our snacks. But by the time we got there, we were starving. And the food truck was awesome. I loved the food that they had there. I think it was, Tony's steak and subs, I think it was.
Something like that, yeah.
So the food was really good. Don't get me wrong. I really enjoyed the food, but only one food truck for all those people. I would have had another one, at least another one. They would have made bank. They would have made some serious bank. And I felt so bad for the people at the food truck because they had a lot of people that were coming to them, and it was humid. Inside the food truck had to have been stifling. So I want to tip my hat, to the staff of that food truck. They were busting their ass. The only other slight complaint, and again, this is not to disparage the staff of the Mahoning or the last drive-in itself, the crew from the last drive-in. But when we were in line the second time, the first time was to turn in our tickets for the photo op. That was made abundantly clear. When we turned in our tickets, we were told, come back to this spot for the photo op. Okay? So I'm like, what time would be good? Because the photo op's at 5. She goes, I'd get here at 4. Well, we got there at 3:30. And then some guy, what was it, Bill and Dana?
You're asking the wrong person about names.
I know, I was kind of hoping. But this couple, Bill and Dana, now mind you, me and Amanda were standing there already with another couple behind us. And this guy, Bill and Dana, came up, asked what the line was for, and they didn't move. They just decided they were the first ones in line. Now, I wasn't going to say anything because they were nice and all that stuff. We had a good conversation about Comic-Cons and other conventions and who we met and blah, blah, blah. But I was still like, do you think I don't realize what you've done, sir? I know you cut in line. But that's not the complaint. The complaint I had was we were told by 5 different people what that line was for and what was going on. Now, mind you, the reason why it was probably like that is because of the simple fact that it was a weather-permitting situation. Because, the weather, like I said, the rain followed us. And we're talking lightning strikes within the area. If it got really severe, they were going to move shit inside. So this is a very minor complaint. But 5 different people had 5 different answers of what the line we were in the second time was for. And it just caused a little bit of a confusion, I think, with a lot of people. It ended up being the autograph line to meet and greet Darcy and get stuff autographed. Which, again, they bent over backwards for everybody. I have to applaud both Joe Bob and Darcy and John Brennan and Austin. I didn't get a chance really to see or meet Austin, but I know he was busting his butt and getting everybody a chance to meet Ernie, the lizard from the show. When we got in line, this is why I really didn't have a problem with Bill and Dana being in front of us because I was nervous, extremely nervous to meet Joe Bob. I was especially nervous to meet Darcy. I mean, she knows, my wife knows, I have a mad crush on her, and if I'm not mistaken, she has a mad crush on Darcy too. So this is we have a mutual crush on Darcy the mail girl. And the entire time leading up to the time we got there, I'm thinking in my head, what am I going to say to these people? I mean, I am notorious for, if you've listened to the show, you know this to be true, for saying anything that comes into my head and it goes straight out my mouth. Literally verbal diarrhea. And I did not want to do this. Not this time. So I'm like, oh, God, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to say? What am I going to say? I don't want to be like that quote. It's better to look stupid than open your mouth and remove all doubt. But I had to do something. So I found a bolo tie that was in the, it was a metal bolo tie that was in the shape of is it pronounced cicada?
Yeah.
Okay, into the mic, dear. But anyway, she's so quiet. I got that for him, and Darcy was difficult because she was posting pictures. I was a little sad she didn't post a picture of the thing I got her, but hey, she had tons of people bringing her stuff, and she also wasn't feeling well. I'm getting to that in a second. So I looked for, I was thinking of something Halloween 3, but I know she got a ton of that. Something mail, like involving the post office. Couldn't find anything. So what I ended up doing is when we were in Pennsylvania, I saw the cutest stuffed hog. And I'm like, wait a minute. I saw a video of her visiting I think it was a hog farm, and she was like doting and loving on all these hogs, and plus the infamous Hogzilla, which we heard chants of repeatedly at the Jamboree. So I'm like, this would be perfect. So we get in line. It's now our turn. And the verbal diarrhea started. I shook Joe Bob's hand. I was shaky a little bit. And I'm like, okay, I'm the one who has been posting on Twitter that I am nervous to say something stupid. So I thought I'd combat it by giving you gifts. And I gave Joe Bob, and I said, you taught me probably my favorite word of all time. You have officially been Katie-diddled. Because it's from, I think it was The Beast Within that it was from. And he used the term Katie-diddle because at the very beginning of the movie, this woman gets raped by a giant cicada. It's a long story, folks. It's a long story. So I wanted to get him something that reflected that, and I amazingly found this bolo tie that was of a cicada. So I said, you have officially been Katie-diddled. And in my head, for some reason, I think I threw it at him. Amanda's like, no, you handed it to him. And I think you just placed it on the table like, that's nice. That's what I was thinking in my head. I have no idea what he did. I was kind of like running on verbal and mental autopilot. And then I looked at Darcy, and this is where I really think my personality is. If you don't know me, you would think I'm about to rip your head off with the way I looked at her. I went, and you! And the look on her face was like, what am I in for? I could see her kind of cringing just a little bit. And I said, you were difficult. I looked for something Halloween 3, but I figured you have everything Halloween 3, and if not, people were bringing it to you, and she kind of smiled at that. And I said, and then I tried to find something postal related, couldn't find anything. So I remembered a video you showed on Instagram about hogs, and plus Hogzilla, and I bring out the stuffed hog. And she's like, oh, and she looks at Joe Bob and goes, Hogzilla, Hogzilla, Hogzilla. And he just got this look on his face like, I am never going to hear the end of this fucking movie. But that was great. I mean, they signed a book that Amanda got me for Christmas, which was Joe Bob Goes to the Movies. And I told them that the book was Amanda's gift to me for Christmas, and the Jamboree was a gift to me for what's going to be my 50th birthday next week. And they're all like, oh, that's really nice, and da-da-da-da-da. And then it came time for the picture. Now, my phone sucks. I'm not going to lie. It's a very old phone, okay? The woman who took the picture, God love her, she kept getting Darcy with a bright light, like just off to the side of her head. So she's kind of like blinded out a little bit, but you can still see the picture. But I said, I'm sorry, my phone's very archaic. And the woman, to her credit, goes, yes, it is. And I'm like, well, you don't have to agree. So I kind of look at Darcy and go, I'm working on it, really. And, Darcy smiled. And again, I'm like total like, oh, I'm next to Darcy, the mail girl, and Joe Bob Briggs. Oh, my God. I'm inwardly geeking the fuck out. I am having... The only other time I've ever had this feeling was when I met Dan Aykroyd and Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. This is the only other time, folks, that I've ever geeked out to the point where I'm thinking I'm looking like a massive fucking idiot. So it comes time for the picture, and Amanda is put in front of me because I told her, I tower over you. These two are slightly taller than me. This would make for a better picture. Now, you, Amanda, were worried that you looked... What was it? You were trying to bow down without looking what?
Because if I shrink down a little bit, I shrink outwards. I just look like twice as fat as I actually am.
You, for God's sakes, you didn't even look that bad in the picture. I mean, and then you got my goofy mug behind you with the stupid grin I make when I'm in, like, La La Land of geeking out. Oh, I forgot to add Carrie Fisher to that geek out. I was like, So, we get the pictures taken. The lady took 7 fucking pictures in a row. I'm like going, which was the one she... Holy shit. So then, as we're wrapping up, Darcy gives me a hug. And I'm like this. And I just... You ever get somebody that's fragile? Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying they are fragile, but they look so fragile you don't want to really touch them because you're afraid to break them like they're a Fabergé egg. That's her. She got off the golf cart when we got there. And I looked at Amanda. I'm like, she's fucking tiny. Oh, my God. She's like, tiny. She's tiny. So when she came in for the hug, I'm like, what do I do? Because I'm infamous for bear hugs. And I do not want to break this woman. I don't want to break her. So I came in like this. I'm going to pretend the microphone here is her. And she gives me this, she places her hands, I think, on my shoulders, and she gives me this, like, hug. So I kind of go in for the, I haven't seen you since you were a baby hug. Wow. But so gentle because I don't want to crush her. So I'm like this. And I'm of two minds. Don't crush her, and, oh, my God, I am, like, having a moment. I don't want it to end. So... we leave, and I go, now, mind you, again, she knows I have a crush on her. Amanda has a crush on her. I'm not saying anything that's going to end me up on the couch.
That's what I was wondering.
No. But what I did, I thought would. And that was this. We walked out, and I'm like, I got a hug from Darcy. I got a hug from Darcy. And then I looked at her and go, did she hug you? And she goes, no. And I went, I got a hug from Darcy. I got a hug from Darcy. So I was geeking out at that. Then we got to meet him again for the photo op, which was like almost immediately after that. And they were giving out free water to everybody. I told you it was humid. I mean, I sweat out, I think, everything I put in. And there's no trash cans. So I've got this fucking plastic bottle in my hand, and I don't want it in the picture. So at first I put it in my pocket, but then it looked like I had a massive rod in my pants. And I already caused enough confusion. I caused too much confusion in the restroom, so I don't need the confusion in my own picture. So
we're gonna have to talk about that, but I can't let you just slide past that.
I understand that. But I ended up taking the bottle just as we were about walking up to him, and I stuffed it in the back of my shorts. So it looked probably even worse to them as we're walking up, and I'm tucking the back of my shorts, And I did this thing like I'm posing, pointing like the last drive-in will never die to the screen and behind these two. thanked them once again for meeting them. And again, they couldn't have been a more gracious bunch of people. Now, unfortunately, I did find out that Darcy wasn't feeling well. Okay, so that's why I'm giving like massive props. I mean, she wasn't feeling well, but she did not want to disappoint anyone. So, and she's by her own posts on Twitter and YouTube and her Instagram, and as well as her own blog, you can go to kinkyhorror.com, which, by the way, awesome pictures. You would be in love, sir. But she also has anxiety about, I don't want to say mingling with people, but like being put in these kind of like situations. But she toughed it out, and I give her such mad props. Such mad props. She literally was out there giving her all, making sure no one was disappointed. See? Woohoo! Those are some pictures. And if you scroll down, oh yeah, the Harley Quinn Wonder Woman picture.
You know what? Let me share the screen with them so they know exactly what we're looking at.
Yeah, because that Harley Quinn one, I want to get that for my home gym. Put that like right behind me. You want to talk about inspiration? There's inspiration. That is beautiful. That's all I can say. Anyway, almost as beautiful as my loving wife, who's not even paying attention anymore.
Yes, I am.
Anyway, the first movie they showed, I'm not even going to lie, when he came up on the big screen and he did the thing about we're living in a world where everyone's telling you how to think, speak, feel, and we're now in the words of Malcolm in the Middle, you're not the boss of me, so shut the fuck up. I love that mantra, I really do. I'm not going to lie to you, I teared up just a little bit. Just a little bit. I guess fangirling, fanboying, whatever you want to call it. I was really going like, this is so awesome. And then they start the first movie. I pegged it. I wish they would have had the contest because I knew it. When I saw who was there signing autographs, I knew what movie they were going to show. And it was Linnea Quigley. And I'm like, she was here Friday doing autographs and meet and greets with people. She's here today. I bet you they're showing Night of the Demons. And sure enough, they were. I'm not saying it's an awesome movie, but I love the movie. I do. And I especially love, what was it, Angela? I forget, Amelia. Who was the one who played her? Was it Amelia?
Yeah, it's Amelia something.
The woman is still as gorgeous as she was back in the 80s when they filmed this. And I found a new appreciation for the dance scene when she was possessed. I'm like, oh, how do I tell Amanda I want her to do this for me on my birthday?
The dance scene in what movie?
Night of the Demons. It's she had literally just gotten the lesbian kiss from Linnea Quigley and got possessed. And she's now dancing in front of the fire. And it is, you just get a new appreciation for it. It's like, oh, this is awesome. And then, of course, with the dance, Joe Bob Darcy, Linnea Quigley, Amelia, and John Brennan all did the dance, which was also a pretty modified version. I don't think there was any way Joe Bob was getting into the position where he flings back all the way to the floor and looks like he's about to get mounted for a ride, if you know what I mean, and I think you do. It's a Joe Bob type of thing right there. But let's see if we can get that on the screen, because that's a sweet thing to watch. Be like, anyone got any ice? Oh, while we're waiting, Biz Marquee, man.
Man, that's effed up.
And the funny part about that was, I said on the drive home, driving home, and the song that popped on the radio was, you got what I need, but you say he's just a friend.
This industry knows something.
Check out now, it's getting worse. But the funny thing is, when I told her, I said, you know what the song was? She goes, what? And I said, are you sure? And I acted it out to the point where I went, "You baby, you," you know. All right, so yeah, this is. I forgot he died in the. Yeah, spoilers, folks. This character died, and I forgot, and I was like, he shouldn't have died. He was awesome.
Ants. What the fuck are you doing over there?
She getting ready, big boy.
Blessed be the sinners, for the day of atonement is at hand.
Say what?
And this actress, she was in a lot of rock videos. And after watching this dance, I can see why. Action. And for those who are just listening on Cave Radio, we're watching a scene from Night of the Demons where Angela dances in front of the fireplace in a very, very seductive way. You're missing out. No, it's not what you think, folks. Although it sounds like it if you were just listening.
I was enjoying the listening part.
This would be a bad time for our guests to show up, wouldn't it?
I'm sure they understand.
I was about to say, did you warn her? And now for it to get a little kinky. And the thing about this scene, she said, "You let me choreograph this, and I'll do it." And they're like, "Go for it." To which all I gotta say is, wise decision, Mr. Director. Wise decision. Right there. Woohoo! No chance you're gonna do this for my birthday, is there? I don't bend that way. We can find a way. Now, I'm sorry. This dude. No. He looks freaked out. I'd be like, popcorn, please.
Whoa, Sal, easy, man. A little jumpy, huh?
Yeah.
I would be
right.
like him.
Now the party's back. And so is Stoogie.
Hey, careful, man. She's acting really fucking weird.
Don't worry, Sal. It ain't the weird ones you gotta watch out for. God, didn't your mom teach you nothing about women?
Yeah, I would be a lot like Stooge. Sadly, I'm built like Stooge, so yeah. If I would have known that they were doing Night of the Demons, I would have cosplayed as Stooge. But do you see what I mean about the dance?
Yeah, I mean, I would love that done, you know. But like she said, there's not many that have been way.
True. This is very true. It's like, you know, you can bend certain ways, and then there are other ways you just can't get those legs up behind the ears like you used to. Just kidding. Oh,
Try not to.
I was just
Want a
about to say,
lawn that looks like this?
What
Your
the
lawn looks a little bit
deuce?
more like this.
why are we watching a thing about good lawn?
I have no idea. True Green is not.
It's
never
not
mind.
about lawn.
I was gonna say something very disrespectful about that company.
Uh-oh. Do I want to know?
Nah, it's boring.
But anyway, the highlight, I'm not going to, the highlight for me was, like I said, was getting the hug from Darcy. But the second highlight was, remember, we didn't bring a tent. So we slept in her Tesla, which apparently you can lower the seats down and extend into the trunk. And I came with the brilliant, I use this in the most sarcastic way, brilliant idea. Let's put our heads where the trunk is and put our feet out. Now, technically, it worked out that way because if we didn't, my head would be dangling over where the seat was. So it kind of worked, but at the same token, it was like sleeping in a coffin. I'm not saying I know from experience, folks, but if we would have brought the inflatable mattress, my nose would have been squished against where the trunk lid was. I had like no room for error between my head and the trunk. There was very little room for error. And we're sleeping side by side, and if you wanted to roll over, you kind of had to do the Angela dance to move. So don't tell me you can't bend that way. I know I could. I had no choice. But, yeah, for the most part, they say that was the first annual, so that means I'm hoping it means that they're going to have another one. If they do, I am definitely going, but we're definitely taking more than one day, because just to get there, oh my God. And then I would want a hotel. Not that I didn't enjoy sleeping in the trunk of a Tesla, but, you know, afterward, it would have been nice to have a shower to get all that lotion off, all the bug spray off, all the sweat and grime off. It would have been nice. I probably would have felt a lot better. But, yeah, to do a Joe Bob, because he does things in stars, I would have said 3.5 stars. 3.5 stars. I enjoyed myself. I would have liked to have seen a second food truck, because I'm a fat kid. I like my food. And I would, and then, like I said, the communication. But again, I do not really fault that through any of them. It was a lot of people, and they were trying to get as much done as possible. That's why I just took off 0.5 star. But I really enjoyed myself. How about you?
Oh, yeah, it was fun.
Is that all you got after I just spilled my freaking guts out for like how many minutes? You're like, oh yeah, it was fun. That's it? Nothing?
Yeah.
You have nothing to say. You don't want to touch on the dill pickle problem?
No, not really.
Okay, so I'll fucking do it. So, Miss Chatterbox here is not going to tell you. In Ohio, we were at a Sheetz because we had to charge up her car. So we're wandering around inside the store, and we're on a dill pickle thing. You know, we love Lay's dill pickle chips. We'll try anything dill pickle. That's a dirty joke waiting to happen. Anyway, I basically saw this thing for dill pickle pork rinds. Now, I've never had pork rinds in my life. But I'm like, it's dill pickle. How bad could it possibly be? So we got the bag. We go back to her car. I open it up. The smell goes... And I already knew I was in trouble. But I'm the never say die attitude. So I had one, and the first words out of my mouth was, wow. It was heavy, concentrated dill pickle. And I was just stunned. And I think I had like a few more before I had to tap out. It was just, wow. Now, fast forward, we're at the drive-in. We grab our snacks for the movie, including, I must add, a can of Pabst Blue Ribbon coffee. Yeah, you heard it right. Pabst Blue Ribbon coffee.
Is this the one that you spoke on in the past?
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Now, remember, that and dill pickle pork rind. Okay? So we're in the coffin, Tesla. And we're getting ready to go to sleep. Okay? So, just as we're getting ready to get comfortable, she kicks off her shoes. Now, mind you, we've been in the heat. It's humid. We've been walking through like wet grass and all this other stuff. She offloaded an aroma that can only be described as a bakery gone bad. So I'm like, holy shit, no. And I'm throwing clothes, blankets, anything I could find on top of her feet. Now, yeah, it's amazing she married me, huh?
And I'm just kicking it off because my feet were so hot and so sweaty. I'm like, no, they need air.
So I'm like, cover that. She's like, no. She's kicking off. I'm like, well, fine. Let me add to the aroma. And I added a full bag of dill pickle pork rind and a full can of Pabst Blue Ribbon coffee, and I just went. And she's like, oh my God, never again. And I'm laughing so hard, more escaped.
It just kept coming.
And I'm like, we're going to die of methane poisoning. They're going to find 2 corpses in a frozen position.
And it's so tiny back there. There's nowhere to hide. There's nothing to put your face under.
So she had to suffer. If I had to suffer her feet, she had to suffer the gas.
Y'all got a dope relationship, though.
Oh, yeah. Fortunately, I found one who finds my farts funny, if not somewhat questionable, because I did it again last night. But it wasn't pork rind, dill pickle.
No, it was even better.
It was White Castles.
Don't worry. Next month, I got to go to the gathering of the Juggalos. So.
Oh, yeah, we're going to have to hear about that one, because I know I have a friend that goes there.
This is my first time.
Your first time?
One of my best friends, who I started out music with, has been a juggalo all his life. Now,
so he's on the FBI most wanted list, or not most wanted, watch list.
I ain't gonna say all that, but I don't see how they say they're a gang.
I don't either.
It's just a bunch of people that just play a bunch of jokes on motherfuckers, like shit dollars or poop dollars.
That's
you know what I'm
like
saying? Don't pick up no money on the ground because they were ass wipes.
That's like saying the mutant family or the mutant army is a gang. We're not. We just enjoy fucking goofy movies.
Shit, the Addams Family, the mob.
Yeah, but and you're going next month, you said?
Yeah, we're I don't know if I'm supposed to say anything, but yeah.
I was about to say, use code as best as you can.
These will be there.
Mm-hmm. These no, I'm not gonna find. Nope.
Those two.
Yeah, got them. But yeah, some of those are like conventions and all that stuff. It was good to be back, but I'm not gonna lie, and that's why I'm wearing the mask now. It's mostly, even though I'm fully vaccinated, you got that Delta variant scare that's going on. With me, it's like I just want to make sure for the next 2 weeks I didn't contract anything. I'm not saying this about getting anything from Darcy, because I feel fine. If anything, my stomach was upset from eating the White Castles last night, but come on, it's White Castles. But I just want to make sure, especially for our guest who's going to join us eventually.
Hopefully.
Eventually. I don't want to, this close to the election, I can't go out and campaign because some idiot gave me a fucking cold. So that's why I'm doing that. It was so good in a way to be with a lot of people, because after the year everyone's had about being locked inside or not being able to go to stores or movies or whatever have you, it actually felt good to be with and I'm not a people person, folks. I am so not a people person. You would think the way people approach me, and they're, I inherited that from my mom. I've got this weird vibe about me that says, tell me your life story. I'll listen. And I'm standing there like, if I have a mask on, I'm like, please shut up. But at the same token, if, your life story is interesting enough, I'll listen. I'm not that unpeoply.
Yeah. I think, not to cut you off, but that's kind of how this whole me bringing in Miss Underwood, because I was trying not to follow too much of the the politics and stuff like that, and I try to stay away from politics. But just the conversation we had upon her approaching me just seemed really interesting. But it wasn't until I talked to her that day and I sent you guys that text message, I get home and I'm seeing all the commercials.
You know, I haven't seen one for her yet.
You haven't seen the proposal P? How they talking about?
Oh, I've got. Matter of
This
fact,
is
they're in my freaking in her car. I'm getting leaflet after leaflet after leaflet of Proposal P.
Yep. So she's one of them people. I believe she has something to do with the proposal itself, but she's also government is basically trying to shut her down, and I didn't understand that when she was telling it to me, but then when I started seeing the commercials, they were saying like, "This is for the people," and they're what they basically they was just saying that it was unorganized government.
As compared to what normal.
That's what I was trying to understand. So it was like I wanted to hear exactly what she had to say, especially this is the only councilman or the only commissioner that's running for councilman that I'm seeing, get negative feedback, negative energy. And I just so happened to meet this person at the gas station, like doing her own legwork, walking up to people, talking like you should do.
Right.
Like just letting you know she's a part of this community, blah, blah, blah. Again, I understand as politicians, you have to say what you have to say to get to the next step.
Right.
But it was something genuine about it because she didn't hold back about them commercials. And when I went and looked at the commercials, they really trying to like shut her down. They defamation of character, all kind of stuff. And she's the only one that's catching that.
Because she's the one that wrote the bill, or
I believe she wrote Proposal P.
Well, that would understandably earn her the flack, though. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I don't know jack shit about Proposal P.
Neither do I.
All I know is, like you said, from the commercials I have seen, everyone's trying. I haven't seen anywhere they're, naming her specifically. But they're all talking about how bad it is. It's going to take pensions away from law enforcement and firefighters. Just various different things, basically, they were going over. I haven't seen one ad that put a positive spin on Proposal P. Not one leaflet, not one commercial.
I've seen one commercial that said yes on P, but it didn't say much of anything. It was like animated. And that was it. It was like a Saturday morning like this. I believe it was last Saturday.
They were showing cartoons.
Probably so.
Uh-huh.
But I was just happening to, because now that I'm back here in the city, I'm always on the go, but they have regular TV where I'm at. So I always try to glimpse at the news and things like that. So it was on the news station. And it was one that came on that was animated that was saying yes on P, and it was trying to explain to you, it's for the people. So if she shows up, if and when she shows up, I do want to ask her, what does that mean for the people? Because everybody who politics says that it's for the people. So I just want to see why, basically. Why are you catching so much slack?
Okay, what is... Oh, here we go. Amanda found it. So, the overview of Proposal P, as I read this without glasses, thank you, honey. If approved, Proposal P would replace Detroit's current city charter with a 145-page revised charter written by the Detroit Charter Revision Commission. Since Detroit has home rule, its municipal government has more independence from the Michigan state government and thus the authority to adopt a full city charter. Proposed changes to city policy within the charter include the following. Develop free public broadband internet. Provide reparations to black residents. Change police practices, policies, and training requirements. Give residents amnesty for water and sewer fees, and grant tax credit for residents who show proof of overassessed property taxes. The measure design. Proposal P asks Detroit voters if they want to adopt a charter proposed by the Detroit Charter Revision Commission. Say that 5 times fast. If approved, Proposal P would replace the existing charter, which was adopted in 2012, with the Revision Commission's version of the charter. The revised charter is 145 pages long, adding 25 pages to the existing 120-page charter. Now, so far, basically, I need more information. Because I can see, and I'm telling you right now, I can tell you there's a couple of things in there that some residents are going to look at and go, wait, what? And I'm speaking from basically the, I thought I retired this character, but what the hell, he's back. Ding, 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 ding. I know a few people that would take a look at some of those things and go, well, why in the hell am I going to have to put in for this if we're going to do this stupid reparation shit? I didn't do it. My mommy didn't do it. My grandpappy didn't do it. Why do we got to do it? So, I can already hear that because I've dealt with people like that. In some of my places of past employment. Fortunately, not current, except for maybe one, but she's long since fired. Mm-hmm. But I've dealt with people like that that don't truly understand that part of the thing. So I would like to ask her about that, because I've heard it, I've dealt with hearing about it, and to the point where, and this is probably why I'm not a peoply person, to the point where my eyes will go cross as they talk to me. You know, everything starts to go black. Everything's fading out. Your eyes are going cross, much like the listeners are doing right now. If we have listeners, just in case. So, what do you want to talk about while we're still waiting? Didn't you have a question about the Tesla? You said you were going to touch on something, but you were going to wait.
Honestly, I forgot. You know, too many vegetables, you know.
Too many greens in your diet.
Yeah, too many greens in my diet sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I'm glad to see you guys are back and feeling well. Last week I did wish you a happy birthday. I thought it was on the day that you took off.
No. No, it's not till next week.
Okay.
Or is my history of describing my birthday, it's always July last. Because it's the last of July.
Might as well be.
I was a kid. It was the only thing that stuck. 31st seemed too complicated. July last. There you go. But yeah, that's something right there. We're going to go axe throwing.
That sounds dope.
I hope so.
I hope it goes very smooth.
Yeah, I've seen enough YouTube videos to know it could go insanely wrong. Like, I've been told already, when you throw, don't throw with one hand. Throw with two, and watch the speed of which you throw. Because if it doesn't stick, it's going to bounce and come back if you throw it too hard. I've seen videos about that.
People legally do this?
Yeah. It's a league, actually. It's like, throwing darts. Only you're throwing something much more lethal.
So basically they're saying you could throw this, but it's a possibility it bounce back and tear you up.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, fuck that.
Well, hell, I turned 50. I think I've lived half a decade of basic naughtiness. Why not continue on,
Now, I would like to do what some of those stunt guys do, like where they go to a very high level and drop stuff down on trampolines. You ever
like
seen
themselves
that?
Or just like...
No. Like they'll take like a safe or something, and they'll be like 40 feet in the air.
Okay, I have to stop you. Why on earth would you want to drop a safe onto a trampoline?
You would be surprised the stuff they did. Because what it is you're looking at the impact. Because what they're doing is recording it, and they play it in slow motion. The impacts that
Are you talking about the slow-mo guys?
It might be them.
Because I've seen the one where they hit the one guy in the face with a soccer ball that's been infused with water, and they cut it down to like 2,000 frames a second, and it looks like literally like the guy's mutating. Like his lips go over here, his eyes kind of like bulge up, his nose gets all bent, like it's broken, but it's not. And it almost looks like the soccer ball merges into his skull.
It could be, but you know, having kids, they watch this kind of stuff. Um, I want to say, I almost want to say it's them trick shot guys.
Yeah, I've seen that one where they threw a basketball, I want to say, from the top of a building to all the way down to
Into the
the
hoop.
ground level. Yeah, and it's just like, you made that shot? How many takes did it take?
That's
Be
what I
honest.
wonder, because they got some amazing shots.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Especially like they were at the top of a football stadium and threw a frisbee, and then like went around and landed in a trash can that was dead center of the field.
I couldn't even hit that in 5 feet, let alone that distance. While we're still waiting, let's go to a little bit of revision, because it's now officially 11 weeks to the fight between Eddie Hall and Hafthor Bjornsson. Now, I have since stopped following Hafthor on Instagram, and the reason why is because of a picture. Even though he didn't commission it, this guy did it, I still thought it was tasteless. And I know it's trash talking, but he posted a picture of him holding a bloody, decapitated head of Eddie Hall with Larry Wheels in the front, you know. And I just thought it was tasteless. I don't care if the guy did it or not. He said he did one for Eddie Hall too, but I didn't see it. But I saw a recent video of Hafthor on Facebook where he's taking a light day. And I'm telling you, I think Eddie Hall is in for a fight. I really do. My stance has changed a little bit on Hafthor, because even though he says it was a light day, he looks like he's really starting to connect and get faster with his punches. Whereas if you watch Eddie Hall, I think he's more working on just like if you throw a punch forward. Like if you go to Eddie Hall's channel, he has one where he started the 12-week training. It's like the final 12 weeks where boxers, if they're in for a fight, they get serious. Yeah, right there, the second one from the top. Yeah. He doesn't
It's time
look,
to help people customize.
to me, he doesn't look that good. Now, I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. But, and again, Eddie Hall's own mouth, he said that he will only show you what he wants you to see. So he's not giving Hafthor or his training camp anything that they can use to go against him. Okay? But I would go in with the mantra of the dude still needs to keep his hands up. The video that once it starts, and once you get past the intro, he's doing a lot of, this is funny. This is kind of funny. Crybaby. And this is a spoof of Hafthor's intro with the music. And this is the Yes Men. And I'm going to have to look to see what that's all about. Because
Hello, YouTube.
I think he made a bet with Larry Wheels for $10,000 that he'll beat Hafthor. Because Larry Wheels, I used to respect him, but when he looked at the camera and said, knock Eddie Hall's fucking head off, I'm like, dude, really? What did Eddie Hall do to you? You trained with the man. What the fuck did he do?
For now, and again, I'm not the coach. My coach has got 30 plus years experience, so I have to go what he says.
So as we're turning the clocks back, we're going to start with technique stuff, and then as the 12-week camp progresses, obviously we get stuck into more sparring. And
Matter of
more
fact, I got to
aggressive
find
stuff,
that
and
one
obviously
poster.
on that
I would
last
like to
week,
have that
it's,
in my home gym.
basically a week off. So we've got Mr. Josh Middleton here, aka the Tripod.
Who's the same height half Thor, by the way.
Very good. Watch your head. Okay. There we go. And we've got Mr. Pinhead here as well. So we just got gloved up, wait for Lyndon to turn up, and then we'll let him say what we're getting into.
So basically what we're doing is we've been off for a few weeks and we've come back and we're just starting the run up now to the actual fight. So we're starting back on basics. We're doing footwork drills, we're doing attack and defence drills. So basically what I've got Ed doing, I've give Josh all the advantages. So Ed can just counter. So all he can do is defend and counter. So we're taking away 50% of Ed's game just to sharpen him back up again. So we're just basically working on defences. Yeah, so they are defending and footwork drills.
So that explains it. So I guess after seeing the artwork that this one person did, he challenged Larry Wheels to a 10,000 bet on the outcome of the fight.
So this guy right here is who you're hoping wins?
Me, Eddie
Hall?
I honestly, and this is the thing, I'll touch again on why I'm backing more Eddie Hall than Half Thor, but yes, I prefer Eddie Hall over Half Thor, only because, one, I think, even though his whole shtick is to being an asshole, that's his shtick. He's an asshole, but he's kind of like that lovable asshole, you know? They annoy you, but yet you're still like, oh, I hang out with you. You're funny, okay. But yeah, I'm pulling more for Eddie Hall. Only, and for the reasons I touched on a few shows back. There's a video where it shows what kind of a poor loser Half Thor really was. And everyone has that moment when you're competing where you're so emotionally invested into something, you might say or do stuff that is considered very unsportsmanlike. And Half Thor was not, not by any stretch of the imagination in 2017, a very sportsmanlike guy, That all the behinds. I'm sorry, he can say this was edited to make him look bad. I'm sorry, the shit he was saying made him look bad. It wasn't. There was no editing that could have fixed how bad he looked. Okay. Now, the reason why I'm more Team Eddie than Team Thor, and mind you, I really like Thor, but I lost a lot of respect for him. It was made abundantly clear to me at this past World's Strongest Man. Okay, the winner was Tom Stoltman. All right, and he earned that victory. I was more pulling for Brian Shaw, but Tom Stoltman earned it. Why? Because the guy never fucking gave up. He put it all out there, And Brian Shaw said it himself. He left points on the table. Literally. He should have performed better in a couple of events that he didn't really put everything into it. His own words. All right? You compare that to Half Thor Bjornsson, who still has yet to publicly apologize for being the biggest bitch baby in 2017 to Eddie Hall, was blaming the referee. He was blaming Eddie Hall. He was blaming the contest, that it was rigged against him because he lost by 1 point. He easily could have taken the plane pull, or was it the truck pull? I can't remember. He could have won all the other events and beaten Eddie Hall, but he didn't. he was blaming it on one event because he got called for one press. To me, that's where I lost a lot of respect for him. And mark my words, this is coming from a person who's, and this is going to sound bizarre, whose favorite character in Game of Thrones is the Hound and the Mountain. I have a couple of Mountain Funko Pops that if I ever met Hathor, I would have him sign it. Even if, I kind of lost respect for him as an athlete. But the point is that, in my humble opinion, you were wrong, dude. Now, whether he might have apologized publicly and they're just using this to add fuel for the fight, to add interest, I still don't know. Because I could, if I had time to dedicate to it, I can show you clips from Eddie Hall's YouTube channel as well as Hathor's YouTube channel, where it sounded like they were setting up this fight for the hell of it. Not because there's bad blood, but because they wanted to do it as a charity fight. But somehow it got turned into a multi-million. I think they're getting a couple of million for this fight. A piece.
They want to see a knockout.
And basically, as far as everything else goes, whether the stuff that was said between them, between the 501 deadlift, 501 kilogram deadlift, and everything else in between, I don't know if it's filler to voice interest, boost interest, because again, I can tell you, if I had time, I could find you these clips, unless they deleted the damn videos already. But it doesn't change the fact that if it isn't being used to build drama so people can, buy in, because I still want to see this fight. I really do want to see this fight. I hope it's a lot better than Logan Paul versus Mayweather.
Man, that was some bullshit stuff.
That was stupid. I mean, I get it that it's a fucking exhibition. You're not going to take the kid's head off, but fucking take the kid's head off.
He knocked him out.
Mayweather knocked out Logan Paul.
He knocked him out and he caught him in the air and walked around with him like he knocked him out when he wasn't supposed to. They get paid more the longer the fight goes.
Well, obviously.
But yeah, I didn't show that video to you.
No, you didn't. You should pop that up.
I'm definitely gonna find that for you.
But continue on with this real quick, because if you watch how he's doing his evading, again, he's probably not showing what giving any kind of fuel to the Hathor camp. But to me, he still needs to work on getting his fucking hands up. It's like, if you're gonna evade, but keep your damn hands up.
Oh, yeah.
See what I mean?
Yeah,
I mean, it's great that he's evading, but I mean, this almost looks like he's like, especially when he gets him in the corner. Do you notice how he kind of like gets in the no. Again, don't know if this is what he wants Thor to, or if this is actually how he is. It's very confusing.
You're not even sweating.
Oh, give it time. But yeah, I saw that clip of Hathor, and his landing punches has gotten better. A lot better. He's a lot quicker. He looks like he's getting on target with his punches. I really think Eddie has a serious fight on his hands. Now, I could be severely wrong, but I'm still pulling for Eddie Hall. Let's see, when is this fight exactly? Okay, September 18th. So let's see. I believe And you know the tickets for that wasn't that bad. They changed the venue from Las Vegas to.
So we're going to pressure him down with the feet.
And it's still on a
And we're gonna
Saturday.
work on our single or double shots, straights.
Watch it be in the evening.
You can counter with anything.
Yeah, 9 o'clock.
1, 2.
Oh,
yeah.
jeez.
Yeah.
Exactly 1 or 2.
So we're pushing forward, pressuring with your feet, where we would usually be in country. This time we're going to lead off. So I want us to start using a forceful jab. Get behind your jab, get off your hip, skewing with it. But you can't come back with something. You can use both hands as well. Time.
See, the whole thing with Eddie Hall that I'm thinking is, the fight's gonna start at 7:30 p.m. So yeah, we won't be able to watch it here. However, we will definitely be talking about that for sure.
Single counters for me still.
So doubles on this one. Doubles.
See, the one thing that impressed me about Eddie Hall is, see how sweaty he is now? That's how I look like at the frickin' Jamboree.
How tired he is.
Yeah, and we are defending country.
Right, so just done a few. How many rounds was that?
That was five rounds, 5 threes.
Five threes defending. So I wasn't allowed to attack, which is so much harder. So I can only defend and then
So
counter.
there you go. That's why
When
he
you've got
was
someone
probably
who's as
tired.
quick
You
as
can only
Josh,
defend yourself
it
for
makes
3
your life
minutes.
Very hard. It's a lot easier if you can attack first. You know, it makes it more.
And that's the
more
thing
even
about
playing
him.
field. So
I
that's in
think
the
if
bag.
he
What
connects
next?
a punch on Half
This is
Thor,
bad,
I don't care how ripped Half Thor is or whatever. His punch power is pretty damn devastating. I think if he connects, it's done. But it's a whole different thing to being able to make that connecting punch than having to block, someone trying to punch you out.
This is interval training, so it's not full on for 3 minute rounds. It's interval training. We're going to get Edzar up and down, so we're going to get his work rate up.
And the other
down,
thing
so
that I like
we'll
is
see
the
him
simple
coming off
fact
the
that
bags, see him
Eddie,
getting off the
this
bags.
is supposed to be the heaviest fight
Really what happens
in
a fight.
history.
Sometimes you work
Half Thor dropped 100 pounds. Now I get it, you want to be able to survive the rounds, have that cardio, but it's like, dude, he hasn't lost that much. He still looks like he can destroy you. And I gotta wonder how heavy that bag is. Because I got a, I want to say a 30-pound bag at home. 30, 40-pound bag. And I can hit that and have that thing fly into the wall. So I gotta wonder how heavy that was. Because he's hitting it like he's out to kill it. See what I mean? I mean, and you can stop it. I don't know. If you can find the Half Thor clip where he's throwing punches, great. But if not, I really think Half Thor has improved even more. Whereas, again, he's showing you only what he wants you to see. But to me, he looks almost at the same that he was the last time we looked at a revision. How many chicken wings? Dude. Boxing with Larry Wheels. Sorry, I lost respect for you, dude. Dead air. Sorry, folks. Yeah, go with that one. The top one.
Top one.
Yeah. Like I said, I kind of respect Larry Wheels, but at the same token, I get it. Everyone plays sides. Even Brian Shaw is usually the most neutral person on the planet. He was making some digs during World's Strongest Man, Halfthor's direction. When he was interacting with Eddie Hall, he said something about, okay, just remember, this ain't the Viking press, which is the thing that got Halfthor all bent out of shape.
With that one more rep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gym shirts stink.
Yeah. Yes, they
fit
do.
Terribly. The fabric is uncomfortable, and the designs are.
I don't see how we get a premium service, and they still give us commercials.
They're not supposed to.
I ain't supposed to, but it's all good.
You can skip the ad.
No, I can. This motivation, though, that makes me want to go to the gym and watch other people work out.
Yep. Here I'm thinking it makes me want to do some overhead presses, but... Oh, look, he changed his intro. You're not the world's strongest dad, sir. I don't know about world's strongest boxer. We'll see about that.
So we'll go in the ring. Okay. We go all in.
The intro is a lot worse, but yeah, like I said, he's still a big guy.
Hey guys, so Dubai trip is over. The exhibition match went well. Super happy with it. We're gonna go now and do a COVID test before we fly back home. But before I leave, we're gonna take Larry Wheels through a boxing session.
Oh, he gets to teach him. This is gonna be interesting.
We're gonna play around a little bit, go to the ring, have some fun. Nothing crazy, but I hope you guys like the video.
Take care. Hey, thank you. Yeah. Much appreciate me, yeah. Absolutely.
He looks so damn small, though.
Appreciate the man for coming here to Dubai, doing this with me, doing this.
I'm sorry.
He was the one that shed it all the weight, right?
Yeah.
A little bit. It was good.
If you would have if you look at him like the way he was, like if you see that thumbnail at the bottom on the side there, that's a lot bigger than what he is now. But he's more ripped now.
See what MTG offers.
And again, if it's more healthier for him and he feels better, more power to him. But I liked him when he was more of the figure on the left, you know, where he was big. But being that big also provides health issues like sleep apnea. It's a little bit hard on your joints, hard on your organs. So I can understand shedding the weight. But at the same token, look-wise, he looks so much smaller. It's like, I'm sure his wife finds him aesthetically pleasing, and he's not even in my wheelhouse for attractive, but...
Stormare. Sad.
What's up?
And that's what he looked like as a baby, too. So his kid's going to probably grow up to look exactly like him. Oh, get to the point of the video, Halfthor. Get to the point of the video. Jesus. This is another reason why I unsubscribed from his channel.
All right.
I didn't like Runar.
Everything comes negative. Feeling good, feeling fresh.
And now you got to wait forever to get to the meat and potatoes of the fucking video.
To work, but you're always a bit nervous when you do these tests.
Where is Eddie Hall?
You know.
Better.
I just want to get home. That's all.
I would love to get them in the studio though. Find out like their workout regimens.
Oh, good luck getting them. Good luck. Because one, they're both overseas. The odds of you getting them the week of the fight, slim to none.
Larry Wheels, he should be arriving soon. We're gonna take these today, but I'm just gonna show him.
But honestly, I mean, again, I have to give him props of losing the weight.
Into the ring.
Part of me thinks he lost the weight quickly because he's no longer, you know. I don't want to say it out loud, so you're gonna have to look over.
A little bit, nothing crazy. He wanted to try boxing
because he lost it quick. Real quick. I'm not saying he didn't put in his due diligence and do the work, but
definitely helps us a long way.
Yeah. I think once he gave that up, because he had admitted he used them before. And that is honestly something I don't understand about strongmen.
We'll probably do like
okay.
6
something I don't
rounds.
understand.
I just fought yesterday, so...
I get it. The World's Strongest Man competitions, they say they test for performance-enhancing drugs and shit, and you know they don't.
Check this out.
But why do these guys have to be so goddamn quiet about it? You know? And they almost act like it's a shameful thing to talk about. If you do it, you do it. Show me a guy who's naturally strong. And again, this is why I don't like his videos anymore. These are boring. I'm sorry, Halfthor, they're boring. If Runar's still doing these videos, fire him. Whoever, talk to, I know you don't want to talk to him, but talk to freaking Eddie Hall's camera girl. See how to add more personality to your fucking videos. I get it, you're humble and all this other shit, but this is boring. Look, I'm standing here with my arms up. Woohoo! My name's Larry Wheels. I could put my hands up in the... No, that's going to sound wrong. That is going to sound wrong on so many goddamn levels. It's almost like watching seals, isn't it?
So the first thing first, we're gonna warm up. We're gonna do a 3 minutes just warm up. We're gonna on toes like this. Bam, bam, bam. Yeah, the shadow boxing.
Boring.
Warm up,
I'm
know.
sorry, Halfthor. This video's boring.
Stay active for 3 minutes. Just getting warmed up, guys. Just like that.
I can't explain why his are boring. Even Brian Shaw's are more entertaining than this. And he... What the hell? Was that... Why did we echo that?
30 seconds. So after the 30 seconds, go to the boots.
I mean, I'm trying to like Halfthor again. I really am. But he's done a lot to make me not like him in recent... I mean...
Just him being an ass.
Well, we're all assholes. In one way, shape, or another.
He's not gonna.
But that's the thing. If you watch some of his older videos, the ones I enjoyed back in the day, I used to enjoy watching his videos because he seemed like a down-to-earth, humble guy. You know? Well, this is just warming up, dude. Well, he just looks like he's that kid on the schoolyard that's just whipping his arms around so the bully doesn't hit him, you know? Sorry, Larry. Yeah, I lost respect for you. I'm going to take as many digs at you as I can.
You're not gonna make that dig tonight.
What day?
Of course, I say this knowing full well these guys could kick my ass.
Dig with the ice pack.
And Halfthor looked like he was about to kiss the guy there. I mean, it was an exhibition fight. I don't know if they were shit-talking, but it looked like he was about to kiss him.
Good job. Well, good job done. He's just blocking your jab. There you go.
And there...
I'm going to use a mount cut. He's allowed to punch in the face, but I'm not...
Yeah, please, hit him in the face. Please.
You have a heart after all.
And I get they're friends. That's why Larry Wheels is picking Halfthor. But it's just some of their fucking... This is just stupid.
Jeez, I felt that. Yeah, that.
Let's do it again. Take two.
Take two. And an ad. Watch this. What's the ad for?
Your algae is a custom formula made for you, and your skin's unique.
My skin's unique.
So as you can see, we both have two different super bottles. This one's mine, has my name. No one else can use this.
My skin is obviously very dry. His is very oily, and just sharing the same product just doesn't.
Well, that's personal.
It's a 3-step routine.
Everything you need in one box. You got your cleanser, your moisturizer, and your
my skin is this, and his is really oily. I mean, literally.
A custom formula to be sent right to your door. And the best part is my girlfriend does not have to bug me anymore about having a horrible skincare routine.
Sign up
That's
for a
just
free
rude.
trial.
All you gotta do is pay shipping and handling, which is nothing but $4.95.
$4.95 for oily skin. You heard that here, folks. Oh, I hate YouTube ads. I get why they're there. It's to help the content creators. Unless it's you, Runar, then fuck you. Because you're making boring content, Runar. You're making boring content. Oh, I get it. You only have so much to work with, but for fuck's sake, Runar, tell him to have some more personality. Or personality.
Oh, no, they ain't about to let him fight and spur with him.
Why not? Why not? That's about Eddie Hall's height. There is a difference. Eddie Hall's, I think.
Size, though.
Well, yeah, there's a slight difference there.
Look at this man's shoulders.
We're gonna work on some simple things. I'm gonna see how he reacts, see how he feels.
See how he feels? Punch him. And I like how they're playing the Hathor fight in the background. Nothing like adding a little bit of, you know, egotistical oomph to the video. Not that Eddie Hall doesn't do that either, but, you know. But at least when Eddie Hall is watching boxing, it's other people boxing. I'm saying that truthfully. And he's sparring against a guy who's never boxed. Now let's look. Oh, well. Woo, look at that. They look so mean and serious. Woo. And again, I'm saying this knowing full well they could kick my ass. But I'm sorry. That's where I think Hathor looked better. That's Konstantin Janashia. But, yeah, gotta get all the pose downs. Gotta get all the pose downs. Evidently, you haven't traveled a lot there, Hathor. I can show you some better burgers than that.
Alright guys, we're having a cheat day today. Nice burgers with my good friend Larry Wheels and the crew. Let's go!
Larry, I'm going to kiss Hathor's ass so I can get more, you know, more likes and views. Wheels.
Wow, it's nice.
And I'm going to say this, and again, this is the last dig at Hathor, because again, I'm trying to still like him. I know what you say. He's coming off arrogant and all that stuff. I think that's the personality he's trying to convey now. But if you see some of his earlier videos, he really does seem like a nice and humble guy. This is not. This is boring. See, I liked him better when he was that size. With his other ass kisser in the back there, Martins Lises. And it's good to have good friends in the sport, but at the same token, some of the things that they're saying is just stupid. Okay, Merriweather versus Paul. I wanted to see freaking Logan Paul just get, like, destroyed. It wasn't Logan Paul, was it? It was his bro...
No, it was Logan Paul.
Oh, Jake Paul's the other asshole.
Paul, that's the other one.
Okay.
I ain't gonna lie, I thought it was Jake Paul that he was supposed to fight.
Well, Jake Paul took Mayweather's hat.
That's what it was on TMZ when he
said,
"Ah, got your hat." I would have been mad too.
I would have fucking kicked his ass right there. Been like, yeah, we're not gonna do that here. We're gonna do this in a ring, preferably where I get paid for it. But even then, still, I mean, they got paid a lot of money for this damn fight, but I would have destroyed them. I know you get paid more the longer the fight goes, but I would have fucking destroyed them because the more you make the fight last, the more you look like a fool letting this frickin' punk, yeah, a YouTuber, go the distance with you.
Thanks to your determination.
I mean, seriously, I think you look worse. I don't care how much money you get. You lose a lot of your credibility letting it go that long.
Shit.
It should have been,
I don't know, 100 million off of, what, 40 minutes of fighting?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If it's me, and I'm known as a world-class boxer, and I go, that fucking should have been, out he comes, and the minute he got within striking distance, doink, and game over. I know people would have been pissed. I think there were a lot of people who wanted to see him destroyed. Humiliated.
Well,
you know?
That's where I have to come in and say Floyd Mayweather might have a conscience.
Might. Didn't he beat his previous wives? That's not much of a conscientious guy.
No, it looks like he actually did get knocked out at one point.
He looked like he do beat up on women. I ain't want to believe that.
Hi guys, it's Devin Howard. If you want to follow me
Hello, Devin.
at Devin Howard, double check that you've
Nice
subscribed to the
teeth.
bundle. Tap the bell.
You're looking at the teeth. I'm looking at.
No, not really. But
I was looking where
for
the
radio.
arrow went. Oh, come on. If they've been listening long enough, they know what we're looking at.
Despite the height and weight advantage that Logan was given, it was hard to imagine Floyd succumbing to an amateur fighter. Up to keep the fight going.
That's a
Watch
nice
the clip
picture.
Right here.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like he rocked his boat a little bit.
They're trying to say that he didn't knocked out.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He meant to do that.
I am sorry. Yeah, I meant to do that.
On Logan's part. He was trying to
But
tire
yeah,
Floyd.
I just wanted you to see that because a lot of people are saying he did not do that. I'm like, bro, yes he did. He knocked him out.
Dude, the minute his glove connected with the side of his head, he did that universal thing that everybody does when they get their lights knocked out. They do that wobble. And you can fake it all you want, but it doesn't look as natural as actually getting knocked the fuck out. So, I'm sorry, the minute he did the Mayweather, I don't know why I keep wanting to call him Merriweather, but Mayweather just kind of scooped him up real quick, and he's still draped over.
Yeah,
now, why would you fake that? Why would you fake that? What benefit, Mr. Paul, do you have for faking that?
I would have just took the knockout and said I win a couple rounds with Mayweather, like a YouTuber versus a seasoned boxer.
Now, technically, who won the fight? Did they actually have a winner because it was exhibition?
Honestly, I think they did do a winner, if I'm not mistaken, which was Mayweather. But then again, I'm not sure because I have to go back and look. I'm not even going to lie. But I know Mike Tyson beat the crap out of Roy Jones.
Roy Jones.
Roy Jones Jr. I think it was Roy Jones Jr.
That I don't know. I knew he was planning on doing another fight, but I didn't know against who.
Yeah, Mike Tyson did that. Supposedly he training now to fight somebody else. Like, I'm waiting to let Mike Tyson, like, go loose. Like,
oh, are you sure you want them to do that?
Hell yeah. That old man, I know he still got it.
Oh, I know he still got it, but the problem is one, muzzles, will they be allowed?
Well, you know.
Because I know a certain boxer who's like, I remember fighting him, and I lost part of my ear. But,
this time, tell him stay out the way.
The only thing that I don't, and this is not knocking those who are going to be fighting prior to the Hafthor and Eddie Hall fight. I have no interest in those. The only one I know is Steffi Cohn. I'm probably butchering her last name. She's not a fighter either. What the fuck are we going to watch with that? I mean, seriously.
I don't know. Honestly, I really think they could do something with this. Like, just beyond Eddie Hall and Thor. Like, they really can do something, like, take bodybuilders to a whole new level. It can be...
What? They're not bodybuilders.
They're not bodybuilders.
No, they're not bodybuilders. Hafthor and Eddie Hall, they're not bodybuilders.
Oh,
they're
I'm sorry, strongman. But no, to be strongman, I think they should have a realm of, like, that become a boxing league.
Kind of like a fight club?
Pretty much a fight club, you know, because they say that these people get so big from strong lifting, but their flexibility and mobility is never all that great. So to see them really, like, fully conditioned and stay about the sizes they are without having to drop the weight and let them, like, fight, that'd be dope.
I would agree, except for one thing. You got to remember, are they performing at their strongman weights?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No, they're not. I mean, like I said, Hafthor lost over 100 pounds. I think Eddie Hall lost another, because he was already starting to slim down. I think he's like, what did he say he was? I think he lost like over 60 pounds. So, let me see, Eddie Hall weight.
No, but if they can fight at their strongman weight, I think that'd be dope.
I'm not sure about that. I think it would be, like you said, he looks tired.
Yeah, they look
You
tired,
know?
but they go for the haymakers. So it's like a dog eat dog world.
Yes, but as a fighting fan, how many times? And I can tell you right now one in particular, and it involves Mike Tyson, where you watched a fight, and it was over so quick you felt robbed.
Just about every Mayweather fight that I paid for.
There you go. And there was a couple others. Okay, so Eddie Hall right now is 362 pounds. And Hafthor, let's see. Sorry, it takes me a while to type. Bjornsson. And again, like I said, real quick on Hafthor, again, he seems so humble. And then as soon as this fight came about, it was like watching an arrogant prick. So, and again, you have to have a hero. You always have to have a hero and a villain. Oh, and by the way, Hafthor is now 344 pounds. So he's actually lighter than Eddie Hall. But
still up in the 300s.
Oh yeah.
That's
a lot of muscle though. But you have to have a hero and a villain. And at first, and this is true for wrestling, this is true in the UFC, because you always have one you're rooting for and one you absolutely fucking hate. Okay? I thought the way they were going about it was they were going to make Eddie Hall more the villain, because he always takes shots at Hafthor, and Hafthor at first was I try not to have negativity, impact my life and da-da-da. But now he just seems like more the arrogant prick, like you said, just by how I'm sorry again, Hafthor, I'm really trying, but your video was fucking boring. But, and then you watch Eddie Hall, and he's just entertaining. Now, there's a world of difference between a boxing match and a YouTube video. World of difference. But if you're going to have that, your team this, team that, you know how back in the days with Twilight, there was Team Edward and Team Jacob. Vampires don't sparkle, bitch. But anyway.
Hey, that was my shit when they came out in 2008, though. Whatever one that was, Eclipse, I believe.
What you all heard there was stunned silence, folks. My jaw couldn't drop out of this mask any harder.
You didn't like Twilight?
Oh, God, no. God, no.
I don't know. Maybe because I was in theater arts at that time.
I'm going to tell you straight up, I and this is going to sound hypocritical, I have not read or watched anything Twilight. What I did see was enough on YouTube to know I'd never want to see any of them.
You gotta watch it just because the storylines are good. Like seriously, I thought it was
Come on.
like subpar when I first seen it because werewolves and vampires fighting each other.
If I want to see that, I'll watch Underworld.
Somebody
Much better movie. Much better movie.
I haven't watched Game of Thrones either, and they say that's good.
Yeah, but there's no werewolves or vampires in that.
Well, sure enough.
I mean, there's wolves, but no werewolves. But going back to Eddie and Hafthor, you have to have the hero, and you have to have the villain. Now, Eddie Hall was supposed to be the villain because he was mocking the people of Iceland, which was stupid. He got in big-time trouble for it. Little Runar comes on his Instagram. Yeah, that was insulting. You're insulting everybody in Iceland. I'm sorry. That's an insult to Runar. Hold on. I got to use his real voice. That was really insulting. Sorry. I don't like you, Runar. But anyway, I think the fight is going to be a little bit more close than I originally thought it would be. Now, granted, what you saw there was just garbage. That was garbage. That was boring, steaming pile of compost. Sorry. But whatever he showed on Facebook was a lot more, his punches were a lot more on target. They were a lot more, power behind them. He still has a little bit of a problem with moving, but it's gotten a lot better. And I think if Eddie Hall really, 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 really stands a chance, it's going to be a strike fast. Don't draw it out. Don't draw it out. Larry Wheels, wow. You got to elaborate a little bit.
Well, I probably could elaborate this for him.
Okay.
That's Tori. He grew up with me.
Okay.
When he say something like that, basically it's more like, wow, that person's still around, or whatever the case is, or he just disgusted with that person. That's when he says wow, it's like, why, basically.
Gotcha. Yeah, because again, I used to watch some of Larry Hall. What is wrong with me? Stroke. Larry Wheels videos, especially when he visited Brian Shaw. He visited Eddie Hall and trained with him. Obviously, he works out with Half Thor. He visits Half Thor a lot. Makes you kind of wonder what happens in the rest. Anyway, but the point is that I used to hold a lot of respect for him, but just some of his actions as of like the last year and a half, I just kind of like retracted. Just some of the things he's said, done, posted, just makes me sit back and go, yeah, no, absolutely not, no. I wish I could point it out specifically, but I can't. But, well, she's got 15 more minutes. You think she's going to show?
Nah, so with that being said, you might have lost my vote, lady.
Yeah, well, to be fair to her, she might have had something.
She could have.
I always try to give some people the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, but communication.
True.
It's just in the world of business, you know what I'm saying?
All I gotta say is she's not in my district, so she can't get my vote.
I'll put it this way. I understand things come up, and I'm not mad about it, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you are running for councilman. So just to know that I was able to talk to you on a lower level than what you might be is a good thing.
All right.
But in actuality, when things like that happen, you start to put them in the category of a politician. These are the things that politicians do. They say things and make things out to be one way, but then for whatever reason, it all go to shits. And again, I don't want to damper hers because there's still another show that she can possibly be here on prior to.
And that would be Ink on Wax. That is next Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
And that is correct. So, but other than that, I had another politician who wanted to come in as well. I just didn't want it to be conflicting issues because they are on opposite sides of the ballot. So, but long story short, I wish her the best. The opportunity has come for her to speak to the people, answer the people's questions. You didn't do it, and here it is. You got the commercials going against you. I'm trying to give you a platform where you can speak on it and be honest with the people.
Do you think she looked at how many people listened to my show and just went, yeah, not worth it?
No, I don't think it was more so that. I just think just the follow through just wasn't there. That's all. Maybe she just didn't have interest and didn't want to say it. I just took it as she was coming in too, because when you call me or you send me a text, are we still on? I'm assuming that you're going to be here on time, if not before me.
Well, you did tell her 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, yes?
2 p.m.
You don't think she didn't show up last week?
I was here last week.
Like I said, she didn't show up last week.
No.
So.
Well, last week she couldn't do that show because she had a campaigning event. So that's how she made it for the 24th.
Okay.
So, but other than that, I wish you the best, Commissioner Underwood. Here at Ink on Wax Radio, we are still interested in hearing what it is you got to say. We don't know anything about Proposal P, but if you did write it, I apologize because from what I hear, I might be voting no. So if you can still give me some clarification, we got one more show coming the 31st. And again, that's Ink on Wax Radio, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Here on Cave Radio.
Here on Cave Radio. And we can also Zoom you in. We can Skype. We can do whatever it is to get these questions answered.
Yep. We can dot the I's, cross the T's. We even promise we will watch our mouths. Well, somewhat. Because I'm going to tell you what I was planning on doing, honestly, because we rarely have guests on the show. It's part by design, mostly by design, but every now and then I don't mind having the occasional guest. But my whole thing was I was going to bone up on Joanna Underwood and see where she stood and all this other stuff. But then I decided, no, that is not what I wanted to go for. Because sometimes I think it's not a challenge to them I think it's a bigger challenge to go up against an informed voter than it is an uninformed voter.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have an uninformed voter that is completely in the dark, but is not the type of uninformed voter that will believe whatever you say, is more difficult. Because now you got to convince that person. It's like the whole the undecided voter. You know how you see all the polls? You got the Republican poll and the Democrat poll, or people who are voting for this candidate and then the undecideds. The undecideds are the worst to try to convince. Some of them are informed and they're just conflicted, and then the other ones have no clue, have no desire, or they desire but they don't understand. And they're not that gullible either.
And there's some that just don't give enough, you know.
Yeah, they two shits, you know. But my whole thing that I would have asked about is, because I'm not even going to lie, when it comes to Detroit politics, local politics, that confuses the holy hell out of me.
It do. I don't know where the power stands.
No clue, because I think that's what I was trying to understand about that Proposal P, is the fact that, remember, Detroit was in a lot of dire straits because of what Kwame Kilpatrick did for the city, or did to the city. Right. Okay? To the point where the state had to kind of take over the city of Detroit. Not totally, but they did have to take the reins on several things because they were really, really messed up. Well, if I understood what Proposal P was supposed to be, I think it was supposed to be something about taking some of that power back.
Yeah, that's how she explained it to me somewhat, is that it's us taking the power back, us having more of a say-so in local laws and things of that nature. And it was something about how Detroit has a $2.5 million budget, $2.5 billion budget, but we hardly ever see those dollars, and then here we are being taxed, but our money is not going into the places it need to go. At least that's how it was sold to me.
Right.
So, again, if you're listening, I'm still interested in hearing what you got to say, but I'm not going to lose any sleep.
No, not going to lose much sleep either. I mean,
I will say, though, she does have a dope billboard. When you come up at 96, was it 96 and Evergreen?
I'll have to swing by that area.
When you come up 96 and Evergreen, blaring right in front of you, she got a big-ass billboard.
Underwood.
Joanna Underwood.
Yeah,
and you getting all this free promotion. I need to talk to you about some laws.
yeah. I don't think no, I stand corrected. The last time I saw a politician that actually did the footwork, went door to door in our neighborhood. Now, mind you, our neighborhood has its moments where you wonder, maybe I shouldn't open the door. That kind of moment where you hear pow, 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 or pew, 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 take your pick. And then the next block over, it's even worse. But this guy actually went door to door and knocked on, and I thought I scared the shit out of him, because this was at the time it was George Bush in office. And there were so many things about LGBT and all that stuff. And here comes this guy. Fortunately for him, he was definitely anti-Bush. There's a joke there somewhere, folks. I leave it to you to dig it out. Anyway, I stepped out on the porch and I said, yeah, I'd like to talk to you. And I don't think he was expecting somebody to go out on the porch and actually hash it out on some of the damn views and policies. And I voted for him. because he actually stood there and took me complaining about how a lot of these things, I did not want to be a Michigander anymore, Michiganian, whichever you want to go with. I didn't even want to be a United States citizen because it felt like I was definitely a lower class citizen. I didn't have any rights being, LGBT, And I know there are a lot of other groups that felt and feel the same way. And this guy stood there, took it. He offered his policies and all that other stuff, and I had to give him props. I voted for him twice, but then he got in trouble, I think, because he was our district senator, but he didn't live in the district, or he just had a house in name, but he lived elsewhere.
That sounds like Bing.
No, it wasn't Bing. It was Gabe something. I just can't remember what his name was. I don't think he... Leland? Yeah, that's it, Leland. I don't think he runs anymore. But, matter of fact, I think, Rashid Tlaib is our congressperson now, I think.
I think so. Did she win?
Yeah, she did.
Okay.
Now, the one that I knew was messed up, I felt so bad for him. Charles Pugh.
Fuck Charles.
I used to love watching Charles Pugh on Channel 2 in the morning. I thought he was, and this just proves you can only judge character so much. He announced he was running for city council, and I'm like, I like Charles Pugh. I'll vote for Charles Pugh. And then you find out, Charles Pugh, you really Pugh. Yeah. You really Pugh.
That was back 2008, 2009.
Oh, yeah.
I worked at the Detroit Athletic Club, and one of the guys I worked with, he pulled in, he had this little, it was like this purple Sable or something, but the bumper was bungee corded, the back bumper was bungee corded up. So the guy I was working with walked up to him and was like, well, dang, Charles, I thought you was going to be riding up in something better than that. The very next day, he went on the radio station and outed all of us. He was like just going off on us the whole morning of the show. He was like, and them damn workers at the Detroit Athletic Club ain't got no respect and blah, 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 and probably ain't got this, that, and the third. I'm like, damn.
Sounds like you guys hit a nerve.
Hey, that was him. I was just there to get my money. They was paying good.
But what was he eventually ousted for? Wasn't it like...
Wasn't it
dabbling with an underage person?
With an underage boy.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was. The relationship that he was in was with a boy who supposedly was underage prior to, right before elections.
And here comes Chris Hansen. Charles, why don't you have a seat? Don't do that.
I wouldn't want to see that.
I was supposed to say don't spray the mic. Don't spray the mic. Okay, so let's see. Charles Pugh, Wikipedia. Because, that'll be straight up legit information. Hey, any organization that takes submissions and edits from the regular folk, all of it is not straight up truth. The only truth you might get is on, movies. That's it. And even then, be like, I don't remember Black Widow having a lesbian sex scene. Person on frickin' Wikipedia said it was about at the 23:47 mark. Liars! Okay, so let's see. He was the president of the city council... 2016, he was convicted of 3 counts of criminal sexual misconduct and sentenced to 5.5 to 15 years in prison? Holy shit. As of 2017, he's still in jail, so he might be out now. So they haven't updated his page in quite some time. That's sad. Let's see, sex abuse allegations. On June 26, 2013, Charles Pugh made headlines again when it was alleged that while he was serving as the president of the Detroit City Council, he had inappropriate relationship with a male high school student aged 17 or 18 whom he mentored. So if he was 17, underage, 18, he was of age, but
It was one of the gentlemen who was a part of the
He was mentoring him, and that's not something you're supposed to do.
one of the organizations I used to be a part of called BAM, By Any Means Necessary.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a civil rights group, so we were fighting for a lot of different inequalities and stuff that was going on.
Now, see, this is a bitch thing to do. When the allegations came out, Pugh allegedly left Detroit in the middle of the night and went into hiding, requesting a 4-week medical leave, which was denied. Gee, I wonder why. The police report claiming that a teenager was being groomed by Pugh, though at first saying he could not disclose whether sexual activity took place. The family lawyers say that no physical contact actually happened, but the teen's mother complained of being accused of trying to extract a cash payment from Pugh after legal experts questioned why she contacted her lawyers before the police. Charles. That's all I gotta say. It's just Charles. You used to be so lovable, man. Now you're a bit of a dick.
I liked them on radio though.
I never listened to him on radio. Like I said, I used to just wake up early in the morning and before work and watch a little bit of Fox 2 News. Not that I like Fox or anything. I haven't watched Fox in years. God, I fucking hate. Anyway, hate. But yeah, he used to be. I used to think he was just a lovable guy. And you mean the kids said something? Well, I gotta go. Deuces. On that note, it is sad we didn't get to have Joanna Underwood on today. It would have been nice to try to, pick her brains on, the city council and, the difference of things about Proposal P and all that other stuff. But hey, it is what it is. Shit happens. We are off next week. You will have Ink on Wax next week. I will be throwing axes on my birthday. Yep, the big 5-0. Isn't that when the mental breakdown's supposed to happen, where I'm supposed to buy Jaguars or fast muscle cars and, do shit that... No, that's only if I have a small penis, and that of which I have none. I don't even have a penis, so it's not... Yeah, there you go. But, you're supposed to do shit when you reach that... Oh, my God, what do they call it?
Midlife crisis?
Yeah, that's you go. The midlife crisis. The only problem is I don't think I'll ever have a midlife crisis because I'm hopelessly immature anyway. So I'll probably be 70 years old and still blaring Back for More by Rat as I'm driving my little pace car on 96 doing 40 miles an hour in a 70 going, ain't you back? You're back for more. So I have no problems with midlife crisis yet. It's the dying part I have a problem with, but that's another story, neither here nor there. But anyway, we're going to take off. We're going to see you in 2 weeks. By then, I will be half a century older. And don't forget to tune in next week with Cortez and his show Ink on Wax, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you are interested in contacting me, I am at tip_sip_/ well, no underscore there.
I'm sorry, you gotta do that one again. I kind of messed it up.
Tip sip / How can you screw up tip sip? Well, irregardless, you can go to our Facebook page, Rants in Our Pants. If you're out there, Abby, we still love you. Other than that, I've been Dawn. That's been Cortez. Chatterbox, who never shut up once during the entire show, has been Amanda. Until we see you in 2 weeks, keep your rants in your pants.
I've got another puzzle for you.
And now, a legendary group that's been around for more than 3 decades.
I thought you were going to end it
performing their
on
new hit single, This One for Me and You. New Edition.
You got what I need. You got a hearing aid for me. You got a hearing aid